Hello, I have chosen the text American Psycho. And American Psycho is a story about Patrick Bateman, who is a serial killer in Manhattan, New York. The author of the text is Bret Easton Ellis, who got his breakthrough with the very detailed and gloomy story. In the part of the text I have read, he kills a little kid very cruelly, and yeah, which is described with a lot of detail, as said before. Um, Possibly as many serial killers, Patrick Bateman doesn't have a lot of guilt or sense of bad conscience. And as he says after he has killed the kid in the zoo, though I am satisfied at first by my action, I'm suddenly jolted with a mournful despair of how useless, how extraordinarily painless it is to take a child's life. This thing before me, small and twisted and bloody, has no real history, no worthwhile past. Nothing is really lost. It's not. It's so much more, so much worse and more pleasurable taking the life of someone who has hit his or her prime, who has the beginnings of a full history, a spurs, a network of friends, a career, whose death will upset far more people, whose capacity of grief is limitless than a child's would, perhaps ruin many more lives than just the meaningless punny death of this boy. It doesn't give him anything to kill a child. He maybe just had a weird craving for killing someone, but would in fact rather kill an adult probably, which is very which is a very mad design. He is besides that clearly very unstable, as we experience in the beginning where he threatened a person. He says, "A black custodian mopping the floor in the men's room asked me to flush the urinal after I use it. Do it yourself, nigger, I tell him, and when he makes a move towards me, the flash of a knife blade causes him to back off." As we can read there, it does not take a lot to make him explode or just react violently, and when he is in that state, he is just a ticking bomb. And when we talk about states, he clearly has a lot of them. In the beginning, he is, as mentioned, very unstable, but when he is committing the murder, he is in another state where he is very focused and busy killing the child, and after that, he enters another kind of state where he is more calm, empty, and what seems depressed. I feel empty hardly here at all, but even the arrival of the police seem an insufficient reason to move, he says. There isn't a lot of other characters in the text who fill a big part of the story, but there is of course the mother, who at first is very calm and maybe a little bit uncaring, which changes very fast after his son gets killed for obvious reasons, um, where the mother of course starts panicking. It is besides that a first-person narrator, and therefore we experience everything through the psycho's eyes. Because of that, we would normally sympathize with the main character, but this psycho makes it difficult, and therefore it leaves the reader with a weird feeling because you do still relate in some way and therefore feel guilt and fear. With all that being said, there is some questions left to answer, like what the tension between Patrick Bateman and the Snowy Owl means, and how it can be broken by him imagining a hole in the sun. My answer would be that the Snowy Owl is his innocence confronting him, and the sun is his burning hunger to kill, with his empty soul inside in the shape of a big black hole, as he also says himself. But it might also be a burning conscience he has been avoiding with blinkers. As a part of the topic Mad or Bad, I have also read the text The Telltale Heart and Darkly Dreaming Dexter. The characters in the three texts do all have different levels of conscience. Patrick Bateman, for instance, from American Psycho, has has completely no conscience at all, where Dexter have a little bit more, but doesn't on the other hand feel any guilt killing bad people. And at last, do the main character in the story, Telltale, the Telltale Heart, have too much conscience for a killer, which also exposes him. So, in relation to each other, they all have characters with different kinds of conscience, which really separates them.